I do. Quarterback corners. All right, we're back. To wrap up our NFL preview, we will do our last division, which is the AFC South, which last year saw the number one drafting team, Houston Texans, and Indianapolis Colts pretty much run away with this division effortlessly. So, Chris, AFC South, how does it play out?
I'll start at the bottom. I'm going to go Tennessee. I don't see them. I didn't see much improvement from them off of last year. Still don't know what they have a quarterback, Jake Locker. He hasn't been good for past. Was it been 2 or 3 years?
He's been solid before the injury.
He's been average.
He hasn't been good enough for the rest of that team. They don't have
They don't have any weapons, really.
Yeah, they had Kenny Britt for the 1 year when he had a solid year. And but I have them fourth. I'm going my Jaguars. That's my new bandwagon. I felt like I started the Seahawks bandwagon a couple of years ago. Jaguars, feel free to join me in my Blake Bortles bandwagon. The Jaguars, they might finish 8-8 this year.
They have a lot of time.
They are. I think after the quarterback, they might have a better roster than the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts got better, but
I don't know about that.
I mean, it's close.
I don't think so.
I think
way
it's
better receivers.
Yes,
way better.
But I'm talking all-around roster. This
They have a
defense,
better-
the pass rush is coming along for Jackson.
Well, the Colts added Dakota Jackson. I think he'll add. We'll
So I have Jacksonville finishing third, around 8-8. I'll go Houston second. They were another team that wasn't as bad as they were last year. But I think they might be 9-7. I think it'll be competitive for second because I don't trust Ryan Fitzpatrick to not throw the ball to the other team. I thought Case Keenum deserved another shot to be their starting quarterback. He wasn't that bad last year. I would give it, and he was pretty good at Houston. He was actually really good at Houston. But anyway, and I still think that Jadeveon Clowney and J.J. Watt, that defense is going to be tough to run on. Tough to have time to throw on. So I'll take Houston second. And I like Bill O'Brien. I like what he did at Penn State. I think he's a good coach. He's a good football mind. But first, Andrew Luck's going to do it again. This guy's on his way to being a top
Best
5
quarterback.
I mean, you got to think Manning and Brady are on their last legs. Andrew Luck might be the third best quarterback in the league when those two retire. He might even before then, depending on how they decline. But Andrew Luck he's unbelievable. He really is. He's better than I even thought he would be this quickly. He's progressed massively, just like the guy he's succeeding to. So I'll go with the Colts to win it pretty easily, and a fight for second in Tennessee, kind of bringing up the rear 6 or 5 wins.
I agree with you, Andrew Luck. He's been absolutely amazing. He won actually faster than Peyton was able to win.
Yeah.
So I'll start from the bottom. I agree with you with Tennessee. I just don't think they have talent on either side of the ball. The only promising person they had was Werner, and they let him go.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see any. They did bring in Dexter McCluster. I'm a fan of how explosive he is. They have a rookie in Bishop Sankey at running back. I'm not sold on Jake Locker. He's average at best.
Mm-hmm.
They let go Kenny Britt. They got Justin Hunter and who plays Nate Washington.
They have
Nate Washington and
Kendall Wright.
Kendall Wright from Baylor. They're decent receivers.
They're not good enough.
They don't have enough talent.
It's just not.
They brought Michael Orr in to play right tackle. He hasn't really looked too good.
He's been hurt.
His career has been blindsided.
Exactly.
All pun intended.
That's terrible.
In third place, who do I have finishing? Well, I have the Colts winning, Houston second. So I guess that leaves somebody third. I'll talk about Houston first. Houston's going to finish second in this division because J.J. Watt, Jadeveon Clowney. The pass rush is going to get to the quarterback. Brian Cushing plays very good inside linebacker. I think Jonathan Joseph is, he's older, but he's still there.
He's still a solid corner. Yeah.
Right. So I think they'll have. I'm not sold on Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think Arian Foster is going to be the driving force in that offense.
If he's healthy, that's another.
Yeah, he's coming off the back, but I think he'll be okay.
But even if it's not the back, I feel like every year he has a nagging sort of hamstring, quad type of deal. I feel like every year you hear something he misses a couple games for some kind of nagging injury. But we'll see.
And I think that
Andre Johnson.
Yeah, I was just going to get to him. He's all in. He said he talked to O'Brien and he convinced him to stay. I think if Andre's all in, they have DeAndre Hopkins on the outside. Huge hands, big upside. He's going to have a very good sophomore year. Mm-hmm. He's going to have a very good sophomore year. Yeah. And I have them coming back. They were 3-13 or 4-12, whatever they were. They lost their last
a lot.
plethora of games.
They were pretty
probably
bad.
3-3. I think they lost their last 13 games, but they're not that bad. They'll come back and finish second in this division. The improved Jacksonville Jaguars. Your Jags will finish third. I like what Gus Bradley has down there. They did lose
taking the Seattle page and putting the Jaguar stamp on it.
I'm not quite sold on Toby Gerhardt. I don't think he's as explosive as they would like. I think he'll be like a 3.5 yard carry guy. He'll be good at, if they get in the red zone, he'll be good at punching it in.
But my thing, if you watched him at Stanford in the year he almost won the Heisman, he looked like an NFL running back. He does not run around tackles.
He runs through people. He does run through people.
He is not scared of he plays like an NFL running back. Is he going to be quick enough to the hole and all that? That's yet to be determined. But if he gets there, he's going to be tough to bring down.
But they'll build that defense. I mean, they'll build that team around the defense.
Yes.
That's the strongest side of the ball. I do think Blake Bortles is ready to go right now, and they should.
That was going to be my question for you. I'll let Byron go, but I want to know if we think he's going to play.
He'll finish this, depending on how they struggle.
Yeah.
He'll probably finish the season, but I think he should start it, honestly, because he's the future. He looks ready now. You might as well throw him in the fire and see what he can do. They don't have any real expectations. What do they have to lose?
I'm okay. A lot of times I'm okay with that, but I mean, you look at the last guy that we really remember being a good draft pick, having expectations and sitting, was Aaron Rodgers. Turned out pretty good. Now, granted, Chad Henne is not Brett Favre, so Bortles is not learning from a Hall of Famer. But the last guy that sat, took his time to learn, turned out to be pretty good.
But there's also some pretty good guys that played right away.
There's also some pretty bad ones. We just talked about Jake Locker.
More bad than good.
Christian Ponder. There's another one, too, that I'm not
giving up on Jake Locker yet, but I'll get to them.
I am.
EJ played right away. Flacco, Matt Ryan.
Flacco was not the intended starter. That was not ideal for Baltimore.
They
thought
he was their third string guy. He was. They had Troy Smith at the time from Ohio State.
And
he got
Kyle
sick.
Bowler
Kyle Bowler got injured and was done for the year.
And it turned out well.
It worked for Joe Flacco.
Yeah, it doesn't always. Some guys need to learn so they don't. Because some guys, if you struggle, that crushes your confidence. And I think that's what's happened with guys like Ponder and Locker. I mean, we'll see. But Jacksonville's not rushing this thing, and I like that. They're not in a big hurry because they know that they're building something I think that's going to be pretty good.
I think it would be better for Blake Bortles to get his feet wet in real first-team NFL defenses for a whole game.
I think he will
learn more that way out of the gate than I think he would holding a clipboard.
Yeah. I mean, I think he will this year.
Come on, Bobby.
Really quickly, last place, but it won't be by a long shot. I think this will be a close division as far as 2 through 4. Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they won 4 games, but I think they could win 7, possibly maybe even 8.
People talk about 4-12, but you also got to look at it in a vacuum. In a vacuum, it's 4-12. If you look at it closer, it's 4-4.
I like the additions of Robinson, Marquise Lee,
Red Bryant, Chris Clemens.
Marquise Lee, my guy from USC.
The Central Florida running back. So you're playing about Borders real quickly. I think Jacksonville has a pretty fond memory of starting a guy right away. Like Blaine Gabbert didn't turn out too well. I know it's not the same quarterback, and I'm not comparing the two. I think Borders is better. I think they
that's the other one I wasn't thinking
just
of.
To be patient. Just to be patient. Let him.
I
say let him sit the year because you get a good draft pick, you add more talent on him. I'm not saying tank, but I think Gus Bradley's going to do a heck of a job. We all like him sitting up here. So I think they get about 6 to 7 wins and compete. Third, I'm going Houston Texans. They're a quarterback away. I think they should have took a quarterback, depending on whoever you like in the draft, personally. But I do like Jadeveon. I think he'll be solid. Coverage, he may get burnt a little bit because people forget these running backs are running 4-2s.
He's not used to covering. He's not used to playing that 3-4 backer.
I want Watt and Clowney rushing the passer every play, personally.
Yeah, I would too.
And I think the secondary is a little bit beat up, but I love Hopkins. Love Andre Johnson. Still think he has a lot to take. Tight end position, leaves something to be desired. But I think Fitzpatrick can be respectable. But I like Case Keenum. I think he should get a shot. But I think Bill O'Brien wants this guy.
If Fitzpatrick struggles, Keenum might get the shot.
And second, I think the Titans. People forget last year the Titans were right in this division race before Locker. Unfortunately, got hurt. The weapons, leave it to be desired, but they got the job done. I think Ken Whisenhunt can instill confidence in Jake Locker to help him and help his team win. I don't know if they make the playoffs. They may be a year or two away. Offensive line might struggle a little bit, but the defense will keep them in games. They did lose Alternative Vernon. But I think there's
Ken Whisenhunt also has been to a Super Bowl as a coach.
He does know how to push the right buttons. But then we look at the Colts. Andrew Luck, guy who will be the best quarterback in the league in the next couple of years. Mm-hmm. Week 1, we'll get to see how good he is against Peyton, see how that matches up. Fantasy owners out there, beware. A lot of points will be put up, 30 apiece probably. You look at Reggie Wayne, still think he has something. Fleener and Allen, don't forget about those two guys.
Yeah.
The 2 tight end system.
Yep.
They're running the football. I think Trent Richardson will have a solid season.
I'm not a believer.
Yeah.
I think he'll be able to run the ball enough.
I thought it was a good trade when they first did it, and then it just looked
T.Y. Hilton, one of the better receivers in the league. Quick, can't really
very young. I want to see what Hakeem Nicks does.
I think he'll be able to resurge.
He's got great hands, though.
And DePaul Jackson in that
hands,
defense, getting guys like Arthur Jones. I think they'll be solid, and I think they'll win about 11 games. They'll win his division by about 2 or 3 games. I think Luck will get it done. He does turn the ball over sometimes, a little too much for one times. But Pagano, that whole story, it's just always fun to watch. Mm-hmm. And on that fast turf, that defense. Mathis is suspended for 4 games, let's not forget.
But
he will be back.
That's a joke. That fertility thing was terrible.
It is, and I don't like it, but I don't make the rules.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
And Luck on that turf, he can move. He'll run a little bit more this year, throw for 4,500 yards. Colts will be right in conversation for the AFC Championship.
I agree, and I think they'll run away with the division. I think they're a 12-13 win team because of the division.
Yeah,
I think they're that much better.
A little bit soft too.
I think they're that much better than the rest of that division. I think the Colts will legitimately challenge for the 2 or 3 seed, depending on what Denver and New England do.
One thing though about Clowney playing the outside is it might not work out right away. The guy's a freak of an athlete. I mean, yeah, you want him rushing the passer a lot, but if he can cover some good running backs, which you might not be able to do yet, but you give him a couple of years and he develops into it. He's a good enough athlete that he could do it. So it might work out for him a couple of years from now.
And I think if they have him early on with his hand in the dirt where he's comfortable and let him adjust to standing up playing the outside back,
he's going to have a lot of sacks.
I think he's going to get 7 to 10 this year, first year.
I think he'll be in contention.
I think he can. Not though. I think he'll come close.
I think he could. I'm not saying he's going like that, but he could.
I think he can do something like that. I think J.J. Watt is going to have a typical J.J. Watt monster year. So
he does deserve a contract. Pay the man.
There's Madden 15 just came out. There's 3 players with a 99 overall rating, and J.J. Watt's one of them.
Rightfully so. I mean, he can do everything.
He's the best interior defensive lineman in
football. J.J. Swat, he does everything.
Yeah.
One of the best picks in recent memory I can remember. So AFC South will be fun to watch. Let's see if the Colts run away with the division.